Hello, good morning, good morning. Is everybody there? Anybody there? Welcome to the SHAC, early to the party. Oh, it's such a nice day again today here in Crowborough. Bit cloudy, but very sunny. Come on in. Is everybody here? Stuart, just text me and let me know that the volume's okay, would you, love? That would be great. Stuart's in the building with you today, not in my building, in your building. So if you've got any questions, Stuart will be happy to help you. And here they come for day 5 of colouring in these Mandarin ducks. It's lovely to have your company. Can you believe that we spent a whole week colouring in a postcard? Thing is though, it's just an excuse to get together really, isn't it? We've got to do something. And this is such a creative, therapeutic, mind calming process, colouring, isn't it? I love it. I got so carried away colouring in my ducks this morning that I nearly missed the bus. I was sitting in the kitchen because I prefer to sit in the kitchen to do it, only so that it doesn't feel like work. You know, when I'm in here, it feels more like work. So I thought, oh, I'll colour in the kitchen. Then it doesn't feel like work. I might take all the cameras down there, so then I'm not at work, you see. Good morning, come on in, hello. I can just see Hilda in the distance. God, my eyesight. Are the opticians open yet? I definitely need my eyes testing. Good to have your company. Come on in, we're early yet. We're early yet, early days. My hair needs sorting as well. I'm falling apart, my teeth, my eyes and my hair. How about you? How are you dealing with it all? Come on in. It'll be all right. This too shall pass. You do know that, don't you? It has to. Everything does. Everything does. And I feel, now it's Friday, I feel that things are calming down a little bit, don't you? It feels to me like that. You get a sense for it, don't you? When there's tumult, and then you feel, oh, okay. Things are starting to calm down a little bit in New York. And I think that ripple effect, you know, then it calms down a little bit over here too, you know. It's like the pebble in the water, isn't it? It causes those repercussions, you know, like it goes on and on and on and on, like, and yeah, be all right. It'll be all right. Just we need to just keep our heads down, let them get on with it. Don't you reckon? Is it when we get to a certain age we just realise you've got to pick your battles? Stay sensible, hey? Stay safe. I haven't been out of the house since I went to see Mum and Dad last Saturday. It's all right. It's okay. You all come and see me every morning at 10 o'clock. I'm hardly lonely, am I? And check out the beautiful flowers. I thought, yes, Michelle Hart, thank you so much. Thank you so much for these gorgeous flowers which arrived yesterday. I thought, what a splash of beauty and colour. Just glorious. I thought, yeah, and since we're doing Mandarin ducks and all these colours are actually in the art, I thought, well, I'll just put them there. I'll put them there. And then you can see. Look, we've got fuchsias, we've got yellows, we've got it all going on. Beautiful rose colour. Look at that. I know. We've got some irises have popped up in the garden. Never were there before. So obviously a bird must have fluttered over and dropped the iris seeds. Gorgeous. Lovely, lovely colour. What's the time? 10 o'clock. Here we go. Come on, we've got to get this Mandarin duck picture done. Come on in, grab a seat, bring your tea or your coffee. I'm on the proper Yorkshire brew today. I could cope with a mild anxiety attack. It's all right. It's all right. Mind over matter. There you go. Mind over matter. Welcome to the SHAC. Safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. And this week we've been colouring in some beautiful Mandarin ducks. Are you ready to go for the lilies? Shall we have a look? See where we're at? So this is as far as I got. We did the water yesterday. This week's been a real symbolic kind of. Have you noticed that? We've been working on the symbolism, haven't we? The different colours, we gave them that. Do you know, I've just realised I missed this bit here. You don't realise until you stare at it and you think, hang on a minute, that's a bit suspect. Okay, well, I'll do that later. I'll put a butterfly on that. Isn't it funny when you look? I've got a bulrush up there, but now we've just got the lilies, the lily pads. They're clever. You know, I was reading up on my lilies, my water lilies this morning too. And that was interesting, you know. They've adapted because apparently, well, they have adapted. Obviously, they've got great big leaves, haven't they, to float, and they've got really quite fragile stems. Dave made me laugh. He said, "Oh, they're a nightmare when you go fishing." I thought, well. Okay, he went, no, if you catch a fish and then your line gets caught in a water lily, it'll break it. Oh, okay, well, I'd never really considered it from that perspective, but there we are, said the fisherman. I get that. So today, I thought we'd have a look at the lilies, because what we decided to do was leave it out. So we said we'll leave them out until the end, didn't we? How's yours looking? How is your postcard doing? Is it coming along? I'm really liking this. Postcards, good size, you know, good size. We've done 3 now. Look, un, deux, trois. Well, we're nearly done with the third one. Let's have a look. So the first one was the nuthatches, second one was the cock and hen, and now we're on the Mandarin ducks. It's amazing what you can do, isn't it, with some colouring pencils and a bit of time. Not to mention the therapeutic. Do you know that we've been doing this now? This is 10 weeks. This has taken 10 weeks. Right, come on, we can talk while we're colouring, can't we? So I want to look at the water lilies. Actually, let's get in a bit tighter, shall we? Hold on, I'm just going to bring the camera in a little bit tighter. Is that better? Yeah. So you can see what I'm doing, eh? Cool. That's better. So I was thinking that what I'd like to do, not that I want the artwork to match the curtains, I'm not a big fan of that, but I thought rather than introduce another colour, I'll tone it down a little bit and make the water lilies gentle. So I did try one. Look, I did a couple of little tests. I did a couple of different tests, right? Because you've got to work it out. It's you know, I'm not going to go straight to until I've figured out what I'm doing. I'm going to check it out first. And then I think, yeah, that'd be a nice thing to learn today. Just a little trick that looks really effective. Have a look up on this camera. Let's see if we can get in close. Right, don't worry about it's not finished, but I want you to see the little white lines. So it's white. It's a white lily, but it's got a flash of pink in it, hasn't it? Right, so I thought that would be quite nice because the pink's in the beaks. Right, see if you look at it's in that. I think that would look. Hang on, that way. See, I think that would work quite well as a compliment. It wouldn't take away, would it? Now, the only other thing that I wanted to figure out, though, I had to figure out was, right, do you lay down the pink first and then the white, or do you put down the white first and then the pink? So I decided that we'd lay down the pink first because you've got more control. When you put the white down, remember when we've done it before, it acts as a kind of a resist, doesn't it? Now, interestingly, on this one, I put a really light layer of white down first and then I worked with the pink. And I thought, I wonder if I do it the other way round, whether it will be easier. So I went to another lily in that corner. I wonder, I nearly missed the bus this morning. So I went to this one and I did the pink first and then I did the white. Now, you may say it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. But what I found was, clearly you've got to go a little more gently with the pink, otherwise it'll be much darker than if you went over on the white. See? However, you get a lot more control on that trick with the little white line going through the leaf if you haven't got white underneath. So I'm suggesting, after all that R&D, I'm suggesting that we do the pink first, and then we put down a layer of white over the top. But you decide. It's your lily. It's not my lily, it's your lily. Okay? Right, so what... Grace, it was funny, because Grace is in New York, but obviously she works at Clarity. And so she takes over. When we're all finished for the day, she's peddling. And so people that go onto Clarity, onto the website, for example, there's a live chat, isn't there, on the website? And Grace mans that. Janine mans it all day, English time. And then when Janine's finished, Grace takes over. So for us in England, that live chat's going till, gosh, 10 o'clock in the evening. See, which is brilliant, isn't it? And then Gracie said, somebody wants to know, which colours you used with your Mandarin ducks. I thought, well, pretty much the entire tin of the polychromos. Fortunately, I'd taken a photograph right at the beginning of all the pencils, so I was able to forward that to her. And then this morning, I added about another. So at this stage in the game, right, there's more pencils. Look, this is the ones I'm working with in the lid. So basically, there are more in the lid than there are in the tin anymore now. There you go. The joys of a big tin. Right, so I'm going with pink. That doesn't mean you've got to go with pink. You could do a yellow flash. You could do an orange flash. You could do whatever rocks your boat. They're your lilies. Check. Michelle's flowers. You could do yellows, pinks. I mean, lilies come in all colours, I checked. And you know what? If you want to make it match your curtains, then make it match your curtains. It's not a photograph, is it? Right, come on, let's get going, or we're only going to get one lily done. I'm going to use my Groovy Guard to lean on. And don't forget, if you've got any questions, Stuart's there to help you. If you're looking for the postcards, he will direct you. Because I reckon we're going to be doing this for a few weeks yet. So what I've got here, now which pinks? So we've got different pinks going on, see? I've got Rose Carmine, and then I've got one called Medium Flesh. Now, was that what I used? See, the trouble is when you've got so many pencils out, I think it was that one. And so to check, she remembered a bit of copy paper. Ready? Yeah, for sure. See? So you get a bit of copy paper, and then this is the one that's going to help you get your pressure. See? You don't want to press too hard, do you? So you get your pressure in, gently, 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 gently. Right. So you know the way we were doing what we did the outside and avoided the lilies? Well, so this time what we're going to do is when you do these stripes like that, when you put those, when you introduce those stripes, the way you do that is by avoiding that area. That's all. So for example, let me just show you. If, for example, let's just do this leaf here, because we're going to do a little flash of pink at the top, see? And then we're going to come in from the bottom as well. So gently, 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 get your chisel. I'll just show you, it's just a trick, but it's great for flowers. It's good for flowers because it creates a shadow and on an otherwise pretty much white flower, really. Right? Let's just lean on that. Right, get your chisel. And then what we're going to do is, for example, just gently, gently. So you put a bit of pink in that side there. It's like a little triangle there. Right. It looks good if you avoid the edge a bit too, right? So you just put a little triangle in there like that. Let's try the big ones. Do the big ones first, so they're easier to do. So again, so there's a, let's say we're going to put a little, right, little flash of pink through there, and then we'll make a little triangle there. Right, a little triangle of colour. So what we're doing is, rather than colouring in the whole thing, I'm just going to come down like that, and there's a little gap of white there. Do you see? So you do a little gap of white there, do a little gap of white there. Just don't have to do it on all of them. Obviously the largest one's cool. Then on some of them, just do a little flash of pink. Try and stay away from the edge. Let me just show you what I mean. See, I'm moving the pen around, the pencil, so let me show you. So you're doing like a triangle of colour, really. What glasses have I got on here? Right, Dame Edna's. I knew that I couldn't see what I was doing. Oh, Barbara, you're right up the edge. Right, okay. God, what a difference. What a difference. Right, wish I'd realised that earlier. It's all right, it's okay. It's only a postcard. There you go. So just add a little bit. Try and keep it. The aim of the exercise is to try and just a tiny little touch of pink. Tiny little touch of pink on the tips. But of keeping away from the edge a bit. There you go. So if you want to put a white vein in, one of those white veins, then you just avoid the area. So that one there would be good to put a white vein in. So just put a bit of pink down there, and just a stripe really, look. See? Does that work? Is that working? Let's have a look. So when you... Right, let's have a look. So you do it really gently first with the lightest of pinks, like that. And then when you've got your... Do you know, if you do parchment, you'll understand this. So what you're doing is, it's like you know when you emboss white work, and you do a tiny little bit, and then you get coming a bit more and a bit more, and it accentuates it then. So let me just show you what I've done so far. Let me see if I show you on this camera here. See if you can see. See, it's quite, I'm exaggerating it so that you can see it. And don't worry, when I put white over the top, that will tone it all down anyway. Yeah? So you can see the white, the white, there's mostly white, because in the end, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to make it into, it's a white lily with a little flash of pink in the tips. So tiny little amount of pink. Right, lightly does it now. I don't want to overcook it anymore. So I'm just going to flick a little bit of pink into the tips, like that. Right. Just in the tips. Can always go in and add a bit more depth later. Right, let's come into this area here. Yeah? And then we'll just add a little bit of a flash of pink at tiny little bit in the tips again. And then what we've got to do, you see, we've got to add the shadow, because these are obviously, these the petals are behind one another. So now we have to add the illusion of depth. Do you see? So now, what I'm going to do next, am I using the right pink? It doesn't matter at this. Do you know, like when you think, maybe I left it on the kitchen table. Typical. Because it's a different pink to this pink. I'm telling you. My eyes might be dodgy, but I know a pink when I see it. Do you know, I bet I left it on the kitchen table. Well, I'm not going to go and get it now, right? This is a different pink. Typical. That'll teach me. Right, so what we're going to do now is get in this area here and just flick into that. You see the areas behind the, so in there. You might want to make a chisel and then, or sharpen your pencil. You decide. I'm going to just sharpen my pencil a little bit so I can get into that area. See if I can just get that nib tightened up a bit. That'll work. Right, so now I just want to get into that really area there so that you get in the depth now of the look, see that petal there is in the background, isn't it? So I need to just add a little flash of pink in the background and in this one. So look at your flower and say, right, so this one's behind that one, so I need a little bit of pink in there. This one's behind that one, so I need a little flash of pink in there. Little flash of pink in there. We're going to do pink rather than grey, right, just to get the shadow. Right, and just get the, and then on this one here, maybe we want to do a few of those little veins again, just a tiny little flash, just a bit of pink, like that. Don't make it too stripy, or it will look too loud, really. Just want a bit of pink. I think the whole trick to this kind of colouring in is lightness, light, no pressure. Is my head in the way or am I all right here? See? So you're just building up a little bit of, this one's behind that one, so it needs a little bit of colour in there as well. And then what we'll do is, when we are happy with our flash of pink, there you go. Cool, isn't it relaxing though? You've got to say, don't you find this is so, let's get a little bit of a stripe in that one as well. Don't you find this relaxing? That looks quite good. Just in that area there a bit. Right, a little bit of pink in that one. Make your artwork come to you. I find it helps a lot to do that. Do you remember yesterday I said about, so that if you've got your chisel, then when you want to get in on the line, you bring your pen up a little bit so that you've got the tip going in more. There you go. So you just add layers to this game as well. We could do that after we've added a bit of white, see? I don't want to rush it, but I want to get the effect. There you go. So now we're just going to add a little touch of, what colour are you using? What have you decided? Which colour did you go for? I went for the one on the kitchen table. On the back. Pink Madder was the one that I used originally. That one. Don't matter though. Look, 6 of one and a half dozen of the other. Right. Okay. A little bit there. It's cool. So then if you want it a bit darker, shadow, should we do that in a minute though? Because I want to tone this down a little bit. See, if you keep going and going and going, in the end you're going to have a pink lily, aren't you? Which is not really what we're going for. Now let's just check. What's a lily and what's a... This is a part of a lily as well. Let's do a little bit of pink in there. Just get your... You've got 3 opportunities. We'll do this one. This is me, right? Do that one first. So then that one. And then by that time you've nailed it, and then do the big cheese down the bottom. Okay? Just always works best, doesn't it? Right, so I reckon that'll do for the moment. You happy with that? Because we can always tone it down a bit in a minute. Right, now take your white pencil out of the tin. which I didn't fortunately leave on the dining room kitchen table. Oh no, the dark green. That'd be the end of the... Right, now we've got the white one. And what we're going to do now, once you... It's not... If you've missed a bit, it doesn't matter. Remember, you can... Look, you can go back in over the top. You're going to go gently. You're not going to go too hard. Right, chisel. So we'll start at this end because you can't see what you're doing. So really you want to get a system in place so that you know that you've actually been over a place. So I'm going to start at this end. Work my way around like that. So now I'm adding a layer of white through the whole. Because it's interesting. When you put the white down, it changes the colour of the white card. It does. It's no longer postcard white. It's pencil white. It's got off white. It doesn't look quite so bright. Tones it down. Right, so I'm going round and I'm working out which I'll do with a little bit of pink in that one. And nothing's written in stone, you know. If you want to get rid, if you think you've overcooked it, you know, you just get your rubber, your eraser, and then you go again. Right, this looks good. Well, I reckon I've just about covered it all there. Doesn't that look pretty? So now I reckon I've got all my white in place. That'll do. Just a layer of white. What you can do, you see, what you can do is hold your artwork up to the light. And when you do that, you can see the lily pad, for example, the great big pad is still postcard. It hasn't got any colour on it. But you can see exactly that the whole postcard, the lily is shiny. Not shiny, it's got a sheen on it. So now I know that I've done the lot. Let's go back again, right? Go back in with this colour. Now this time I want to add a little bit of detail. So I'm going to just sharpen, I want the tip to be sharper, right, on this one. That's it. So I've got a nice sharp one now. I'm going in over the white again to add some detail. So let's just, and you'll see now, you can get in here and you're going to use almost like fibres, light feathery strokes coming up from the bottom in those gaps to show what's behind what. You see, that's behind. And then where you put the dark in, what it will do is, see if I put a bit of dark in there, it will accentuate the white part. And it still works beautifully over the white pencil. So there you go. We just go light feathery, just to get that shadow. There we are. Lilies, you know, they go at night they close up like a ball, and then in the morning, when the sun comes up, they open up again. And so symbolically, they're representative of rejuvenation, birth, new beginnings. So that's lovely, isn't it? I like that we're finding these things out. When would you ever look up lilies and say, oh, let's find out what the symbolic value of a lily is? A water lily. It's certainly opening my eyes. Now, where these stamen are, you could choose now. If you wanted to put a flash of yellow in, you can. I'm going to stick to pink though. Less is more here. There you go. But that sharp edge, you see, you can just get a lovely... This is nice. I think that's a dark one. How's that work? Good. Let's have a look. What's this one here then? This little wrap thing here. well, it's behind there, so I'm going to just add a flash of depth there. There you go, that's better. I'm going to get in, so I'm avoiding those little stamen as well because I want them to be white. So you can get quite... The pergoliners as well, there's some beautiful... If you're using pergoliners, I should have said this earlier, if you're using pergoliners, there's no reason why you can't use the watercolour pinks. If the A pencils, if you feel that the pink is better in the watercolour version, if you want to go with pinks, they work lovely. They're just good colouring pencils. Don't forget what we said right at the beginning. You can use any colouring pencils to colour in, can't you? It's obvious. Right, there you go. It's just tricks. Is that pretty? I like that. I like that a lot. And then if I want to, I can just get a little, it's like a little flick, like it's that insignificant, like a little tiny flick. Right, so at the top where we made that triangle, just a little flash through there. There, you see? I love it when it works. Right, hang on a minute. Let's just see, just a little flash. That one there. Yeah. Can you hear that outside? I think it's the street cleaners. Is life returning to normal? Not. Right. There you go. Just a little flash of pink. And it really makes it pop, look. Maybe I overcooked it a bit there trying to show off, but you understand how it works, yeah? So let's leave that for a minute. And if you know the game, if you've overcooked it, all you do is take your eraser, and if you feel you've done it too dark, then you just go back in and lift the colour out gently. Just lift it out again. I think this looks all right though. It's tricks and tips. And then the white one, again, if you want to tone it down, when you go over it with white, that will tone it down as well. Yeah? That always tones it down. And if it's looking a bit patchy, this is all right, really. If it's looking a bit patchy, then you know, if you want to, you can always go in with your blending nib, can't you? And just with a dry nib, let me see if I can find a clean one. What colour's that? Dark brown, I don't think so, Craig. What colour's this one? I've got a nib for every colour going on it. Okay, let me just find a clean one. For me, crucial pink. You'd think, wouldn't you? There is it. Nice. Okay. And then this one, you see, if I want to, I can go in now and I can blend that pink so nicely so it just looks like satin. There you go, just dry nibbing. Maybe you like the texture, maybe you want to blend it in a little bit like this. It's entirely up to you. But this is what this is perfect for. This works great. How are you doing? Everybody happy? This is nice, isn't it? Should we do the lily pad now? Yeah, I like this. Right, lily pad next. Okay. Because then it's all complete, isn't it? Right, lily pad. So I was looking at it and I thought, well, what colour do I want to go? Do I want to go dark? I think this is a little bit lettucey, really. I might have gone a little bit too yellowy on that one. So I'm thinking this one, well, you pick a green that you fancy. This is called leaf green, so that's why I thought, well, that will work. Leaf green. But what I might do is go in a little bit with the, what about the one, just check something out. Again, am I, yeah, do you know what? That's the answer. There's the answer. Oh yeah, instant, what a difference. Okay, so we'll go with the leaf green as the undercoat, but the one, do you know that lovely dark green, cobalt? You've got two really good greens in the Yeah. So you're going to go with that one there, B7, and then you're going to go in over the top with B6 if you've got the pergoliners. See, so we go light green to undercoat, dark green to tone it down so it doesn't look so much like lettuce. How's that sound? Because look, that made a big difference. As soon as I went in with that darker colour around there, a bit of shade, like it. It's got a kind of a blue tone to it as well. Right. Okay, let's get the side of the pencil going a little bit. Okay. Right, chisel. So what we're going to do now is just put a nice undercoat. Let's just do this. We'll just concentrate on the one. Obviously, you've got more going on here, haven't you? Let's just do the one. So this lily pad, just put a bit of green in. It's going to look good when it's done. Beautiful and bright. Now, I mustn't forget to tell you, all you lovely parchers out there, this is a great parchment weekend. First of all, at 12 o'clock, the Groovy download, you know, the Digi download that we give you every week as a project, that's going to be printed, that's going to be sent out in an email to you at 12 o'clock, Stuart, right? Stuart's in charge of that. So he's going to do that. And then that's great because that means that you've got something to keep you occupied. If you, of course, that I'm not assuming that you haven't got better things to do, but should you feel inclined to do a simple groovy project and then post it on Facebook, that would be brilliant. And so that Digi download is going to be posted at 12 o'clock. And then what else is going on? Oh yeah, okay. So at 6 o'clock on Sunday evening, Hochanda, that's the TV channel that we work with, isn't it? At 6 o'clock. Well, actually, I'm on at 4 o'clock, 2 to 4 as well on Sunday. But let's concentrate first of all. Let's talk about the ODS, the one-day special on, because it's brilliant. It's so cool. It's a new idea from Linda Williams, but these plates are spectacular. The artwork, when you see it, it's crazy good. Crazy good. Yeah, really, really lovely. I might make that pink in a minute. Yeah, you'll be impressed. So we're calling it It's a Wrap. When you see them, you'll understand. Just glorious. Okay. And then, so that's at 6 o'clock. Right now, so we've done a really light layer of green there. Bit lettucey, isn't it? So what we'll do now is, let's take the darker colour and let's just, you know the way we did the vein in the flower, let's see if we can't make it look lighter around the edge. Okay, so you've got two choices here, haven't you? If you wanted to, you could take your rubber and just take a little bit of the white, take a bit of the colour out of that area again. That helps. Look, just out of this area here. Yeah, that's easy. You do what you've got to do, don't you? See? So now I've taken a little bit of the colour out of there. Sometimes it's easier just to put it in and then take it out again with a new razor, isn't it? There are no rules in this house. Right, so now you see we've got that going on, haven't we? Now let's see what happens if I take that dark colour. Is that going to be a bit savage? Should work though. Right, really, really lightly, but away from the edge. Let's see if we get a little bit of shadow going, like with this colour. So we have a bit of a contrast, like that. Have a look. Oh yeah, that works. See, so we're going to use this darker colour, which is on the birds. Oh, we're starting to veer towards making the artwork match the curtains here, aren't we? Right, that works. I like that. Yeah, so 6 o'clock on Sunday evening, we're going to mix the two colours here. light, dark, light, dark. We've got a really fantastic new set of plates, just ridiculously good. It's that sort of traditional look, that parchment. Oh, it's just glorious. So Linda's really done us proud there. And then, so that's 6 o'clock launch. Been working hard getting this stock ready. You know, because we're working with a really small team, everything takes a lot longer. But it's okay. It is what it is. Right. Oh, Barbara, you didn't. You did. I'm going back in with my rubber now to get rid of that. Just that little edge along there. Ah, yeah. It does make it look... You see how it makes it look as if the light's hitting it around the edge of the... It's cool. Little things, please, little minds, don't they? Then I'm just going to go in with that blue again to where I just rubbed it out. Yeah, I reckon this is a good little trick, really. There you go. Get the blue back in. So then you see you're going to use this dark green. Let's get some shadow underneath the... Again, one thing that I noticed, let me see if I can come in close and show you. One thing that I noticed, if you see the lily pad, now let's see if we can see what I'm actually driving at here. You see the trick today, see these little white flashes where we're avoiding, like yesterday we avoided the lily, which was quite easy to avoid. Now what we're doing is to introduce these little white sort of, you can see what I'm playing at. What you have to do is, by introducing dark colour, it makes the light colour come out. So if you look round the edge of the lily pad here, see what I'm doing? It's along there. And what I want you to see, just let me show you on this one, right? Just let it focus. If you can see it, around the inside, underneath the lily, we're going to leave a little gap as well. We can always fill it in if we don't like it. It's easier to fill it in than it is to get rid of it, especially when it's that close to the lily, right? So what we're going to do now, let's have a look. Hang on a minute. Let's go to this camera, shall we? It's more comfortable for me. Okay. So what we'll do now, everybody all right? Am I on my own in here? Or have I actually still got some friends in the building? Right. So I just want to, you need quite a sharp pen to do this stuff. Sharp pencil. You need quite a good point. Okay. So we're going to come in here and we're going to leave a little flash of white before we add the shadow. You see what I mean? It accentuates it. See around here, just leave a little tiny flash of lightness. Don't go right to the black line. And then add the shadow. Because that's what this is. The lily is going to throw a substantial shadow on the pad, isn't it? But then the sunlight's coming down. I think this is quite good. Just adding gently, gently. And again, across the top here, right? Just don't go to the edge. Just leave a little. You can always fill it in if you think that looks more like a saucer than a lily pad. But I think you might be pleasantly surprised. Just little ideas like this. There you go. See how it, yeah, it does work. Okay. So nice colours, a little bit of a mix, isn't it? A bit of that light green, not light green, leaf green really. Leaf green. I did try the light green, but it was a little bit too lemony. And cobalt, deep cobalt green, but gently, gently, gently. Then see, you go over the top of it again. Go over the top of the cobalt with the light leaf green, and it tones it down lovely. Look, there you go. Nice, nice, nice. And then you've got choices. You can either, if you want to throw more of a shadow, right, if you want this to be a bit darker, because obviously that's going to be quite dark down here, isn't it? If you want to, you can just keep going with more of the green, yeah, or grey. This is a nice grey. Warm grey 4. See, so you can go in with the grey and it will just tone it down. It's up to you. Some people like it like bright and vibrant, and other people want to tone it down a little bit. Depends on the curtains. There you go. I'm happy with that. Just tone it down a bit. Okay. So you can build on that, can't you? But that's a nice lily, and you can make that. Do you like the lily? What do you think? Are we happy with the lily? You can make it darker if you want to. Make the lily pad darker. I'm happy with that though. Let me show you another trick. Let me show you another trick. Because when you look at all these, they all seem to blend into one another, don't they? Because it goes to dark, to dark, to dark, to dark, to dark. So what I thought was, right, get your rubber out, Gray. Rubber again. See, I've done it a little bit here. See how this one's got the light flashing on him. And all I did was take my pencil eraser and just run it down the line, basically. See? So now it looks as if, so you can turn, so you're toning it right down. And if you want, if you've got the blending nibs, you can always tone it in a little bit so that it's not like a total stripe, but you'll see that you've taken out you've created a contrast now between the dark back. Look at this one, just by way of example. See here, it's really dark, and then this is really dark as well. So what you can do, see, no amount of adding white pencil to that is going to make it whiter. You've got to eliminate the colour. So you take your rubber, which one am I on? This one here. And then you just gently stay on that side and just rub. And you'll see it starts to come out. Look, don't want to overcook it, but you will see in a minute you've got the light now just hitting that bird. There you are. So you bring it down, graduate it. Where's that? Oh. Brush is on the kitchen table as well. Yeah, you see? So what we're doing is we're just adding a little flash of colour to the heads. And all you've got to do, just make sure your rubber's clean when you start again. Right, this one here. But see how it's flashing it out now? It just makes such a difference. Let's do this one as well. Which one am I on? 1, 2, 3. This one. Right, just gently a little. Let's do less and see how it looks when you do a little less. Look, see? Cool. So you can do more or less as you please. And you can reintroduce colour. There's nothing terminal with this. That's the thing. It's not oil painting. There you go. That's cool. And it just creates depth. That's what it does. Nice. And then as we get to the top, it's a little bit lighter for me. There you go. Definitely looks better, doesn't it? Because I think I overcooked it a little bit on these heads. I was getting into this shading and blending, and then suddenly I thought, hang on a minute, they don't look nice anymore, you know. And the same I did with the water as well. If I want to add a bit of whiteness to the water, so you can come in and you can put colour in, you can take colour out. It's up to you if you want to add a shimmer to the water. Right, so now let's have a look. We've got our lily pad. I think that's going to look lovely. Look, yeah, happy with that. Just got to isolate it so I can see what it looks like. Yeah, I reckon. Certainly looks like a lily anyway. And I do think I do need, but it can all be done at the end, when we do the drop shadows and what have you through the whole thing, I might add a little bit of grey underneath the birds. I may add a little bit of grey underneath on the lily pad just to depth, you know, create more depth there. But I'm still avoiding that lip, if you like, that lip on the lily pad. So then the only other thing I wanted to look at was the leaves. Have we got time? Yeah, we have. Let's have a look at the leaves down the bottom. So to do that, what we want, first of all, because this has got quite a lot of the colour, you know, where we keep sweeping through. I don't know about yours, but they could do with a little clean up, really. I've been... yeah, that's okay, though, because we're going to colour them in green in a minute. Right, leaves. Leaves. So I want to show you the ones I did, just to so that you can see. I'll do it extreme so you can see the point. Right, let's get the colours going. So the colours I want to use, I think I'll go with the leaf green again. Not too many greens floating around here. I've got another green here. What's this one? Light green. There you go. That's nice. Let's use a light green and a grey. There we are. Light green, dark green. Or if you've only got one green, press hard, press harder. Or don't press hard, press a little harder. Right, so this is the trick on this then. So if we, for example, we've got to decide where the light's coming from. If the light, obviously it's coming down like that, then let me just explain that the leaf then, let's just draw a leaf on the paper. So I do one, this leaf here. There you go. There's the leaf. Right? So if that's the leaf and the sun is hitting it there, then what we're going to get is it actually gets darker in there, because this is the light area here. So when you're shading a leaf in, you want to shade it dark along there, like, and then along here. It's not what you think. So it's this edge here, because the light's hitting here. So this is going to curl in, isn't it, to the centre. So then that's going to be darker, and then this area here is going to be darker too, this area, because it's curling over that way. See? So when we add shade, we tend to keep the colour here. If you're going to leave a sliver of lightness, it's usually going to be there, underneath there, and then you can always, you know, don't get me wrong, the reason it looks a bit weird at the moment is because there's no colour at all here. As soon as you tone it down, it makes complete sense. But it's about the shadow, see? When you do the little bit of shadow there, on this area and this area, then you'll see suddenly it looks like the leaf is bowing. You see what I mean? When you bring the colour in here, you can see now that the sun is hitting that side, and then not down here. So that's how it works. Get it? Right, so let's do, it's a little bit stripy, but you get the picture. You understand what I'm getting at now. Yeah, a bit darker down there, a bit lighter up there. And then the light hits there and the light hits there. So that's nice. And then we'll tone it all down, and then it looks like a proper. Yeah, you get it now. Nice. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to just bear that in mind. I'll leave that there just so that you get it. And we'll do, my leaves are quite dirty because they've had so much grey run over them, but that's all right. I'm cool with that. I'm just going to add a little bit of light green to them here in this area. Just a little bit of light green in the whole thing. Are yours as dirty as mine? Right. So let's just get a little undercoat of green on the leaf, of the light green. That'll work. There you go. Okay. Cool. Right, and then we'll take the darker green. Let's take the darker green. And what we'll do is we'll add a little bit of shadow just where I suggested. Hang on, let me get a bit of a chisel going. That's better. So I'm just going to come in on that, in there like that, just like I said yesterday. In we go like this. Are you relaxed? Have you got any plans for the weekend? What are you doing at the weekend? Anything? Anything special? Staying in? Hanging out in the garden? Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan to me. I'm going to go and see my parents when we finish here. I'm going over to Gillingham. Oh, I have to tell you, last week I said to Grace, I'm going to see Mum and Dad. So I've got to pop over to Jill's and drop off some shopping. She says, "Who's Jill?" I said, "Grace, Gillingham." Who's Jill? Really? So that was funny. So yeah, so today I'm popping over to Jill's. Who's Jill? To drop off some shopping and hang out with Mum and Dad for a bit. Have a good chat. See how the leaves, isn't it interesting? By just adding that little bit of, that little flash of shadow. It's cool, isn't it? Let's have a look. Right, so it's that one there. And this is tucked in, isn't it? So this is behind. We'll do a bit of grey on that one. Got it? And now the leaves are turning round and looking the other way. So this time we've got to put the shadow again. Remember, the shadow goes in on the top one. So it'll go here like that. And then on the bottom. Just get the dark in and then you'll know. Again, top and then bottom. And then you can always build it in. Yeah, so 6 o'clock, Sunday night, Linda Williams, fantastic plates, designs. It's a wrap, they're called. There's 3 of them. Brilliant. And then, and at 2 o'clock, 2 to 4, it's me again, and I'm doing some smashing. This is on Hochanda. Have I done that the right way around? No. So you can't talk and do this at the same time, can you, Gray? Yeah, really smashing. Good old stamps, but reborn. They're the old, the stamps. So I'm really chuffed that we got them back out of the cupboard. I really like them. So that'll be nice. Get them back out of the cupboard and show you a couple of tricks with them. You know, when I was doing the demming for them, it was just like putting a comfortable old pair of shoes on again. It's funny, you know, you don't forget, do you? You don't forget how it works. You just think what I'm doing here. Right, that side. That's it. Mind you, at this point, in this corner, I tell you what, at that point in that corner, they're going to be so not in the picture. There you go. Look, I'm framing this so lovely. I've been looking forward to framing this one in black because I think that is going to look absolutely brilliant, don't you? Don't you think that's a bang-on colour for this? Just that, like that. And then we'll just decide which bit we want to expose. Beautiful, eh? Look. Oh, yeah. I think so. See, because if I've got that one, see, the black works with that one for me. And then this one here, see, I thought that works really lovely with the white. Look. So that looks great with that one. And then this one, actually, well, I was sport for choice. It was the taupe colour one. There you go. Doesn't that look superb? There you go. I'm getting my little gallery going here. I can't believe that I almost forgot that we had these in the cupboard. And we had them made especially for these postcards. Still got a few left, but when they're gone, that's for sure. Because I'm not going to... We had loads of them and then... They're quite difficult to get hold of in that size. So let's just have a look now. How are we doing for time? Oh, I can't believe it. All I've done is a lily pad and a couple of leaves. What is going on? But we're there, you know. We're actually there. All I've got to do is finish that lily pad. We've done that one there. The bulrush is easy, just a bit of brown, and that's your signature there. You sort that one out. And then it's just a question of a little bit of shading, isn't it? A little bit of grey. And if you haven't got a grey, because you've got the pergoliners, so the one thing that falls short with them, they haven't got a good grey in there. I keep badgering them, but the manufacturers of those pencils, computer says no. However, right, doesn't matter, because you've got an HB pencil, and that'll do the job as well. So if you want then to add a little bit of grey, then just get your HB pencil out, look, and you can do all the shadowing, and it's beautiful. There you go. So I take back what I said about the pergoliners. They're lovely. There we are, see? So you can get your shading in beautifully with just your old HB pencil. So I think that brings us to the end of our Mandarin Duck Week. Whew. Yeah, but lovely. You know, we did so much. We thought about words. We gave them, we had a real positive spin on this, didn't we? And we looked at the symbolism of and then we looked at, for example, the water. Yesterday we talked about the power of water and the gentleness of water, and then we looked at the water lilies today and the whole rebirth and new beginnings, positive. You know, we talked about language. We gave them names. We named our ducks, didn't we? I decided, let's have a look. I wrote my names down. I went with clarity, of course, hope. Yeah, well, I think without hope, there is nothing. Faith, because you've got to keep the faith. Got to keep the faith. I have faith. And love. All you need is love. And serenity. Serenity. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. The courage to know the difference. No. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. The courage to change the things I can. And the wisdom to know the difference. There you go. So there's a lot of things I can't change. There are a few things I can change. And I'm figuring out which is which. Okay. So I'm going over to Mum and Dad's. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Stuart, thank you so much for helping us today. Don't forget, the Groovy Download is at 12 o'clock. And we're here to keep you company. You know, we're here to just, we're hanging out together. We want to clear our minds. Stop worrying about stuff that we can't control. Don't forget the Serenity Prayer. It's a good one. It's the best. It's the best. I live by it every day, one day at a time. So enjoy finishing your beautiful Mandarin. Next week, we're off on our travels again. We're not going to go so far, but I think you'll enjoy it. It's a lovely place. And I'm looking forward to that one. So don't forget, you might want to pack a jumper. You may want to pack a jumper and some bicycle clips. and there's a clue right there. Okay, you don't need bicycle clips in Hawaii, to the person who said, can we go to Hawaii? Have a fantastic weekend. Be safe, be sensible, God bless. And don't forget to head on over to Clarity Worldwide and shout about your artwork, because it is brilliant and you are brilliant. Bye-bye.